Hey there, Deneen Shoemaker, helping you live your best life now. Have you ever made a decision that was really based in fear? We're going to get back to that today in just a second. But I want to remind you that anything that you hear in today's message, if it resonates with you, not only is it cool to like and then share with someone that you think might need some good news, but you are also now able to dig a little bit deeper. And I have referenced, there's 6 links down in the description. The first 3 are educational. They're what inspired me for today's message. They're what I listened to and kind of made me think about what I'm delivering to you today. And then the other 3 are musical. And here again, music touches me in a way that nothing else does. And maybe it does with you as well. So again, if anything that I say today is cool, great, wonderful, makes you think, go ahead, give it a like, and again, share. All right, so I want to ask that first question in just a little bit of a different way. So let me ask it this way. And this is how I asked it to myself. Am I self-protecting? In other words, the decision that I made. I asked you about a decision earlier. Am I self-protecting in a way that moves me away from courage, my values, and being a good leader? And it doesn't even necessarily have to mean that you're a leader in business, but it could be that you're a leader in your family, or in a volunteer organization, or in church, or something like that. So let me ask you, I know that a lot of people think, well, I don't think I really live in fear, or I try not to live in fear. So I want to challenge you the way that this challenged me. Anxiety is fear. Jealousy is fear. Greed is fear. Addiction is fear. Overeating is fear. Drinking is fear. Drug use is fear. Rage is fear. We have these fears of being judged unfairly, or not providing adequately for our families, or not being acknowledged, or looking like a failure. Brene Brown says, when you choose fitting in over staying true to yourself, it's painful. I would have to agree with Brene. She goes on to say, stop walking through the world looking for confirmation that you don't belong, because you will always find it. Fear is what's going to tell you that you're not good enough, that you're not right, that you're not strong enough to go into this new year with this fight that you had in your belly. Fear's going to tell you you're not worthy, you're not loved, you're not beautiful. And fear wants you to believe that you'll never be enough. But fear, my counselor likes to remind me, is false evidence appearing real. And man, if I could have known that a couple major decisions ago, if I could have really remembered that, right? Your self-worth and your belonging cannot be something that you negotiate externally. This is another thing that Brene Brown talks about. I'm going to repeat that. Your self-worth and your belonging is not something to negotiate externally. It's something you carry in your wild heart. Your true self is in your wild heart. So how do you break free? You got to acknowledge your fear. You know, what thoughts are you producing while you're feeling this fear? You gotta think about, when you feel that fear, what thoughts am I producing? Are they excessive thoughts? Are they just frequent? Take note of them. You know, monks and priests and rabbis and even Jesus would probably say, take a breath. It's so hard sometimes to remember that very simple thing, but take a breath. Break that thought and disengage with those fearful thoughts. So look around at your surroundings. Actually take inventory. Ask yourself, where am I? This helps you recenter. I mean, your thoughts aren't real. They're just thoughts. So you got to awaken yourself to the present moment. And then once you've centered yourself and you're awake to where you are and you understand a little bit better and you're in a better position to react, ask yourself, what would love do? You know, it's sort of akin to that whole what would Jesus do? But I'm asking you because to me they're synonymous. But what would love do? What choice in this situation would love make? And what might that look like? You know, excuse me, sometimes love is saying nothing and doing nothing. That's up to you. All right. My prayer for you this week is that you really begin to understand that fear is a liar. There's two things that I want to read to you today. One, and I know I'm running a little long, but whatever. One is Deuteronomy 20, and it says this, way back in the first couple books of the Bible. When you go out to fight your enemies, and you face horses and chariots and an army greater than your own, do not be afraid. The Lord, your God, who brought you out of the land of Egypt, is with you. And when you prepare for battle, he will say, listen to me, all you troops, all you men of Israel. Do not be afraid as you go out to fight your enemies today. Do not lose heart or panic or tremble before them. For the Lord, your God, is going to be with you. He will fight for you against your enemies, and he will fight and give you victory. And then in Lamentations, in 3, it starts out verse 55. So Lamentations 3, verse 55. But I called on your name, Lord, my God, from deep within the pit. That first link down in my description for the songs, that'll explain this one. But I called on your name, Lord, my God, from deep in the pit. And you heard me when I cried. Listen to my pleading. Hear my cry for help. Yes, you came when I called and you told me, do not fear. So my prayer for you all this week is that you will remember that fear is a liar. And as we're going into these new years and these new thoughts and these new patterns that we're trying to establish, the enemy is going to make you want to fear. But God places peace in our hearts. So, on that note, grace and peace, my friends. Live your best life now, because this ain't no dress rehearsal.